A volunteer in our 2016 Trump campaign. She used to help us at some of the rallies. Dimitra Ekmektsis, and she's from Greece and Germany, and she's going to tell us about some stories. She's now become an author.
Okay, so hello, good evening, Tampa Bay Trump Club. I believe I'm speaking to the most important group of grassroots-informed patriots in America, and I support President Trump. And the reason I'm speaking tonight is because I'm now on the hit list of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Who here has heard of the SPLC? The reason I'm on the hit list is because I published the first ever English translation of a strange little book that I was required to read back in high school in Germany. It's called Practical Idealism by R.N. Coudenhove-Kalergi, written in 1925. How many of you have heard of the Kalergi Plan? Google the Kalergi Plan. The vast majority of Americans don't understand it yet, but the United Nations, along with Western governments and corporations, have been pushing this plan behind the scenes for almost 100 years. It all started with this wealthy swamp creature named Kalergi. Besides socialism, Kalergi promoted the extinction of the European race wherever they exist. He was so insane that people roll their eyes at me when I show them what he wrote. Page 27. The single-race man is always a single-soul person. The mixed-race man is a multi-soul person. In each individual, his ancestors live as elements of his soul. If his ancestors resemble each other, his soul is one-sided. If his ancestors are diverse, his soul is diverse and distinct. Page 28. In 10,000 years, history will be divided in pre-technological and post-technological ages. The European race, which by that time will be long extinct, will be praised as saviors for inventing technology. And on and on and on throughout this book. Please listen, because the fate of our nation has been decided a long time ago. In 1938, the Rockefeller Foundation helped Kalergi and his family flee from Austria to New York, and Kalergi became a professor of history at NYU. He spent a lot of time and money on the advocacy of his ideology, sending out literature, traveling across America, spreading and urging his ideas. When World War II ended, Allen Dulles, the director of the CIA, drew up a large covert operation in Washington, D.C. called the European Movement in response to Kalergi's requests. Kalergi represented a whole network of relationships within the United States. But why? Why would these powerful Americans work with such a racist? For example, George Marshall and Allen Dulles had Kalergi's writings up in hearings before congressional committees, in conferences with world leaders, and even succeeded in having Kalergi's ideas adopted by the Department of State. I've read hundreds of declassified documents about Kalergi's sordid life working at the CIA, and Kalergi was the centralizer that interconnected all these different cogs. Hoover, Rockefeller, Truman, Eisenhower, the Warburg brothers, Dulles, and Marshall, the Department of State, and the CIA. Kalergi had a lot of gears in operation. That's more or less how he forced his ideas into US and European governments. Twitter recently removed a tweet from Turning Point USA's timeline because the SPLC said that the Kalergi Plan is a white nationalist supremacist conspiracy theory. And they said that this book doesn't exist, but fortunately I had the original German text, the one I was forced to read in high school, so I translated it to English. And I believe You can really understand globalism without understanding the Kalergi Plan, and you can understand the Kalergi Plan without reading Practical Idealism. But I believe that there are many of us here today who have a special obligation to try and enlighten rank-and-file Trump supporters who don't have this understanding yet. Thank you.